Hi, I'm Felipe with the Two Brothers Real Estate team, and in today's video, I'm gonna explain which are the hottest neighborhoods in the Langley area according to the latest numbers that were released for February of 2019. So if you're thinking about buying or listing in the near future, make sure you watch this video and inform yourself of what's going on in your local real estate market. So let's go to the video right now. Alright, welcome back to the video. So as I mentioned before, I am going to be talking about which are the hottest neighborhoods in the Langley area. And the way that we're able to tell that is with some of the numbers that are sent to us every month from the real estate board. The number that I have a look at to determine what type of market that area is under is what I call the sales to active listing ratio, okay? That is going to determine how much pressure is in certain areas, and it's going to let us know if that area is under a buyer's market, a balanced market, or a seller's market. And I want to take a second just to explain what that means, okay? Now, the first type of market that you could be under is what we call the buyer's market. Okay, so a buyer's market is anywhere from 0 to 12% in that reading. So what that means is that out of every 100 homes that are listed, anywhere from 0 to 12 homes will sell within the first 30 days, okay? Now, the next type of market is the balanced market. So that's anywhere from 13 to 20%. So again, out of every 100 homes, anywhere from 13 to 20 homes out of every 100 will sell in the first 30 days. And of course, the last type of market, which is what we're used to in this area, is the seller's market. So that means that if that reading comes back at 21% or higher, we are actively in a seller's market. All right, so now that we know what that means, I want to take a second to show you how Langley is performing when it comes to the different types of market. Now, in Langley, I have gathered all property types that are for resale. So this is what how Langley performed for the last 12 months. As you could see, we were peaking on March of 2018, which is a year ago, and we were sitting at 51.4% in the sales to active listing ratio. That means that over half of the homes that hit the market would sell within the first 30 days. Now, some changes were made when it came to the mortgage rules, and it started taking a toll when it came to that. It started cooling off the market, and as you could see now, we're sitting at 20.5%. So that's just in the border of a balanced market and a seller's market in the Langley area. All right, so now that I've shown you that, I want to actually find out how apartments are actually doing in Langley. Okay, so if you own a condo, as you could see through the charts, it is picking up a little bit, and right now, as of February of 2019, is sitting at 29.3%, which is clearly in the seller's market. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing for townhouses in Langley, and as you could see, we're sitting at about 31.5%, which is a seller's market. Okay, and now I'm gonna move on to detached properties or home, and as you notice, they're a little bit cooler, sitting at 17.4%. So again, 17.4% is considered a balanced market when it comes to detached properties in the Langley area. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna be showing you per neighborhood and to find out which neighborhoods are the hottest in the Langley area. Now, the first one I'm gonna pull up is Walnut Grove, okay? Okay, so there you go, apartments, they're sitting at 70%. Okay, so that is a really hot neighborhood right now when it comes to condos. It did cool off from 81.8%, but again, anything over 21% is considered a seller's market, which means that most of the condos in the Walnut Grove area will sell within the first 30 days. Now, let's move on to townhouses in Walnut Grove. They are starting to warm up a little bit, and this month they're sitting at 29.3%. Okay, last year at this time, they were at 100%. That means that every townhouse that hit the market in January of 2018 sold. On March of 2018 is where it peaked at 146%. That means that there were more sales than registered listings for that month. And of course, as you could see, it ended up getting as low as 5.7% in September. But currently we're sitting at 29.3%, which is a seller's market. All right, I'm gonna be adding Willoughby is being represented with this red line, and as you could see right now is sitting at 37.2%, which is again on the seller's market. He ended up in December going as low as 10.9%, which is a buyer's market. So we ended up going from a buyer's market to a balanced market and into a seller's market within just a couple months. And that, of course, could be part of the spring market as it's starting to heat up. Now, we're going to do the same thing for townhouses now. As you could see, Willoughby is performing better than Walnut Grove when it comes to townhouses. They are sitting at 38.1%, which is a seller's market. And then I'm going to move on to detached properties for those two areas. And they're sitting very closely. They're sitting at 27.3%. Which is still a seller's market. All right, so I want to add a third area to this chart, and I'm going to be putting Brookswood. All right, there you go. So as we know, Brookswood doesn't really have a lot of apartments, so they're not showing any readings for that. They don't really have a lot of townhouses, but the reason why I added them is because I wanted to see their home and how they're performing in the area. Now, Brookswood is represented by a green line, and it is sitting at 21.7% when it comes to detached properties, which is just on the seller's side, right at the border of the seller and the balanced market. All right, so now that we know that, I'm gonna get rid of Brookswood and I am gonna be adding Murrayville. And as you could see for condos, they're sitting at 55.6%. So they're not doing too bad. They are clearly on a seller's market for all types of condos in that area. Let's move on to townhouses. Townhouses in Murrayville are extremely hot right now, as you could see in comparison with other ones. It is sitting at 80%, so they are extremely hot when it comes to townhouses. Now, I want to have a look at detached properties, and as you could see, they are sitting right now at 20%. So they're still on the balanced market side, but they are, as you could see, climbing slowly into a seller's market. All right, so now I'm gonna move on to Fort Langley. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna be going into apartments. Now, Fort Langley didn't record any condo sales in the month of February. The last one was there on January, and as you could see, it was sitting at 33.3%, which is a seller's market. But there were no registered sales for Fort Langley when it came to apartments. Now, townhouses. There's no townhouses recorded there for the last few months. And the last thing I'm gonna do is show you detached properties. And it does show that it is on a buyer's market. It's sitting at 9.1% when it comes to detached properties in Fort Langley. All right, well, there you go. So that's what's happening in the Langley area at the moment. Hopefully this is gonna give you a better idea if you're thinking about buying or selling. It's gonna give you an idea what type of pressure is being built in those areas. And it's gonna give you a better understanding of the market and the reasoning behind why some listings are staying longer on the market or why some prices are being inflated through the demand that area may have on that type of property. All right, well, if you have any other questions regarding either what I talked about or anything else at all, make sure you reach out, and I would love to help you out and talk to you guys about anything that is real estate related, of course. So my name is Felipe with the Two Brothers Real Estate Team, and I will see you next time.
Turn it up. Let's go.